In this video, we will discuss the latest addition to Genshin's roster, Eula, a physical DPS claymore user. Being a new character, there are many ideas and builds circulating at the moment as everyone is hard at work experimenting and learning about the best way to play her. If you're thinking of committing to Eula as your next main DPS, or if you're just wondering about what the hype is all about, we have the right video for you. Over the past week, we have been testing Eula in the open world and Spire Abyss to put together a guide on Eula's artifacts, equipment, talents, playstyle, and team compositions. Mark my words, this video will be exciting. Let us begin with a basic introduction on Eula's abilities. Eula's Tap Elemental skill inflicts cryo damage and grants Eula 1 Grimheart stack. Eula's Hold Elemental skill inflicts cryo damage, and if Grimheart stacks are present, they are consumed to inflict more damage and reduce the cryo and physical resistance of nearby enemies. At 2 stacks of Grimheart, it creates a large explosion of physical damage. Generally speaking, it is advised that you wait until you have 2 stacks of Grimheart before using your Hold Elemental skill. Eula's Burst deals high cryo damage and creates a Lightfall sword that follows her for 7 seconds before exploding. Dealing damage with Eula's normal attacks and elemental skills grants Eula increasing stacks that amplify the damage of the Lightfall sword. Casting Eula's Burst will reset the cooldown of her elemental skill and grant Eula 1 Grimheart stack. Now we will discuss some of Eula's weapon choices. Any of the 5-star weapons will do excellently on Eula. The Unforged packs a huge punch as long as Eula is shielded. The Wolf's Gravestone has excellent stats and excels in fights with multiple enemies. The Skyward Pride has high energy recharge, which enables Eula's rotation to become more consistent. And the strongest of them all, the Song of Broken Pines, is the best in slot for Eula, with the high base attack, physical damage bonus, and a passive that increases the party's attack speed and attack when it activates. For 4 stars, the Serpent Spine is a great choice as it provides a damage bonus from its passive and has refinements that scale very well. Just be sure to avoid getting hit, as taking damage nullifies the damage bonus temporarily. The next best weapons are the Snow Tomb Star Silver and Prototype Archaic, who both hit very hard and are the premier 4-star DPS claymores for free-to-play users, being craftable weapons. To understand Eula's artifact choices, we have to mention that Eula has a short skill cooldown and a burst that resets the cooldown of her skill. This enables her to frequently cast her skill and maintain a high uptime on the Pale Flame 4-piece set bonus, which increases the attack of your character when your elemental skill is used, stacking 2 times. Thus, this is the best artifact set for her. Other sets that are very competitive include 2 pieces of the Pale Flame set, followed with 2 pieces of the Bloodstained Chivalry set for a whopping 50% physical damage bonus. Lastly, 2 pieces of the Noblesse Oblige set can be used if you do not have enough good Pale Flame or Bloodstained artifacts. For artifact sets, Eula prioritizes energy recharge until she has 140% and then prioritizes crit rate followed by crit damage and then attack percent. Eula's talents are of roughly equal priority, but she will use her auto attack the most, so level that one first. Eula has many possible rotations. To keep things simple, we will go over the one we regard as easy to use for even new players and mobile players. For her rotation without burst, open with Eula's Tap Elemental skill, followed by 5 clicks of her auto attack. Repeat this and use Eula's Tap Elemental skill again, followed by another 5 clicks of her auto attack. Now that you have 2 stacks of Grimheart, cast a whole elemental skill to unleash devastating cryo and physical damage. This also lowers the resistances of nearby enemies. Repeat this rotation as necessary. In practical combat, the enemies may reposition or die while you are carrying out your normal attacks, meaning that you will not always be able to execute 5 clicks of your auto attack in quick succession. If your elemental skill cooldown finishes before 5 clicks are complete, you probably should just skip the remaining normal attacks and proceed with your elemental skill. For Eula's rotation with Burst, use Eula's Tap skill followed by her Burst. The instant the Burst animation ends, dash or jump and begin normal attacking. After approximately 4 clicks, immediately cast Eula's Hold skill and then dash while the Hold skill's damage resolves. This dash will cancel Eula's animations after her Hold skill. Allow the Hold skill to resolve before continuing your normal attacks, as each stack accumulated by the Lightfall sword needs 0.1 seconds of delay before another stack can be gained. Normal attack until the Lightfall sword created by Eula's Burst fully charges and explodes for immense physical damage. After this, return to your non-burst rotation or swap to your supports to refresh their abilities. To evaluate what kind of supports are best for Eula, we will first introduce 4 example teams for her. Firstly, we have Geo Resonance Eula, which pairs Eula with 2 Geo supports to grant her Geo Resonance. This grants her increased damage and very strong shields. However, Eula will require higher energy recharge. Next, we have Electro Resonance Eula, which generates tons of energy and allows Eula to cast her burst more frequently. However, as Electro Resonance does not directly contribute to damage, Eula's damage output may be lower in this team. Thirdly, we have Cryo Resonance Eula, which raises Eula's crit rate significantly. However, this team requires some playstyle changes to make it effective. For example, you could have Diona cast a skill before swapping to Eula to collect Cryo Orbs that were generated, in order to provide Eula with more energy. In another example, if Rosaria is selected to support Eula, it is recommended that Rosaria be at least Constellation 4, as this allows Rosaria to generate significantly more energy, increasing the frequency of Rosaria's bursts to support Eula. There is one more party that plays Eula without Supercondet. This relies on other mechanics to lower the enemy's physical resistance instead. This works by using Eula's hold skill when it consumes Grimheart stacks and lowers physical resistance of nearby enemies. This is combined with Zhongli's Jade Shield, which is a universal 20% resistance shred. Lastly, this takes advantage of Rosaria's Constellation 6, which causes Rosaria's burst to reduce enemies' physical resistance. When it comes to equipping your supports with weapons and artifacts, do consider powerful party-wide bonuses from the Tenacity of the Millelith and Noblesse Oblige artifact sets. Also, equipping Favonius weapons on supports can help generate energy for Eula. Lastly, equipping supports and weapons that provide party-wide buffs can also be very helpful, such as the Wolf's Gravestone on Beidou or Elegy for the End on Fischl. Now that we have discussed Eula's builds and playstyle, sit back and relax as Eula takes the fight to the Spire Abyss. We hope our Eula guide explains everything you need to grasp Eula's basics. We will return next week with more interesting content as we await 1.6.